What's up everybody, welcome to money management channel. My name is Andrei and today I'm gonna be doing an update on MMTLP and FINRA saga.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gonna live it up.
And for today's video, guys, I have several quite interesting news. First of all, I will show you an update in regards to the petition that was written by Daniel. And I have to admit that we have a very good conversation in between two parts of MMTLP community. On top of that, guys, I will show you a couple of letters, basically two open letters on top of previous one, and I will explain you how these letters might affect our case and why we shouldn't rely on these letters for 100%. So, and before we dive deep into all of this, guys, please hit the like button for YouTube algorithm and drop me a line in the comment section if you think my videos are valuable for you. And let's start with this petition again, guys. You know that just several days ago Daniel wrote this open letter in a form of petition, and we have about 307 people who already signed this letter. And let me show you some details. First of all, I want to pay attention to this set of tweets in regards to his petition. So, JRL wrote this: if certain sections were removed from this petition, I would have considered signing. As is, I can't. This is not a matter of perfectionism. I have a fundamentally different view of this situation than the petition describes. My signature means something to me. And Daniel responded, "Good to hear from you again. I thought you were going to explain to me what being in the MMTLP army means to you. Not a requirement, just asking. That's fine. I can't say this enough. Individuals need to do what they think is best for their own shares. Be well." And guys, I have to admit that we have a set of quite similar tweets where people from another side, let's put it this way, from another part of MMTLP community, try to interact with Daniel, and I have to admit that Daniel is a very adequate person. He's open to any possible conversation. And let me show you another tweet, at this time from Do the Ambulance Chaser. Do the Ambulance Chaser wrote, "No one should sign it." And Daniel wrote, "Okay, fair enough. I applaud your position as a free citizen. It's completely fine to disagree on theories, methods and outcomes. So, who is next to announce their stance on this? Can't we start a thread, please? That way I know who not to engage with on the matter. Saves time." And another tweet that was written by Due Diligence, and Due Diligence wrote this: "I'm still not signing this petition." And Daniel responded, "It's all good. I've said many times, people need to think for themselves and weigh options and risks. If something here bothers you, rightfully so, go with God. No arguments. That said, as we've discussed, I reserve the right to do as I see fit as well. Take care." And guys, yes, I have to admit that everyone is free to do anything except some illegal things, and that is why, guys, this petition might be signed or might not be signed by any of you, and it is totally okay, because it is Daniel's efforts to push this case forward through this path as well. And let me show you another quite interesting update from Daniel. And let me show you this tweet that he wrote just several hours ago. Is it the existence of 1209 or 1213 that makes you feel attacked? Why not see it as autonomous groups with aligned goals? Nothing illegal, unethical or immoral. No orders, just free will to join, live or act. Maybe people aren't against, but for the shareholder." And he also added this: "Isn't it Einstein who said, doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result is insanity? I don't know if either gang has all the answers, but it's a different approach and it's not a Maleficent. Don't believe the hype." And guys, he definitely refers to the actions from the so-called non-litigation part of MMTLP community, because these people are still trying to push the case through Congress and through authorities. But at the same time, guys, we know that since the U3 halt was implemented, we don't have any meaningful results from this path. And I want to show you just two more updates, and I will explain you my thoughts on this. So first of all, John Brda wrote this tweet in response to, wait a second, I will show you, in response to the tweet that was written by Representative Ralf Norman. And I showed you this tweet basically yesterday, and Ralf Norman wrote, "Promises made, promises kept." And I also showed you a lot of tweets that were written under as basically responses to his tweet, and all of them are related to MMTLP saga. And let me show you this tweet in details. John Brda wrote, "I feel like I have been hamstrung in this matter due to the ongoing SEC battle I have personally. Now that the MTD has been filed, I invite Ralf Norman to read it and formally retract the statement he falsely made about me on the One American News Network, in particular the show hosted by Dan Ball. Dan was nice enough to admit he didn't have all of the facts and apologize in a space call immediately after the show aired. However, Representative Ralf Norman continues to stonewall the community and still is not aware of the true facts. I am formally asking Representative Ralf Norman for retraction and, most importantly, do what you said you would do to help the MMTLP community. You have the power. Do you have the will?" Right when this aired, I called my attorney to ask if a sitting congressman can be sued for defamation. They told me don't bother. But then I asked work. This morning, as it still chops me that he so blatantly lied and defamed me as a criminal who walked away with over $100 million. We all know his office has been infiltrated by someone we all know. I am posting the grok threat for knowledge only, no threat to be implied. And let me show you this answer. So the question is, can a sitting member of Congress be sued for comments made outside of the floor that are defamatory? And the AI responded, yes, a sitting member of Congress can be sued for defamatory comments made outside the floor of Congress. The speech or debate clause of the U.S. Constitution, Article 1, Section 6, Clause 1, provides protection to members of Congress from being questioned in any other place for any speech or debate in either house. But this immunity does not extend to statements made outside legislative proceedings. So this means, guys, theoretically, John Brda can sue Representative Ralf Norman because of his statement. And I have to admit that we know that just less than a year ago, basically, he was extremely angry because of the answer of Gary Gensler in response to the letter that was written by Representative Ralf Norman's office and Ralf Norman himself, and that was signed by other 74 members of Congress. Unfortunately, we don't have a proper answer for this letter, and that is why, guys, we are still fighting and we are trying to pursue our main goal. On top of that, guys, take a look right here. Due Diligence wrote this tweet basically just several hours ago, and he said, MMTLP, hello Esther Pierce and Marco Yada. In case Commissioner Pierce misses the email that was sent to her minutes ago, I think here would be a good place to leave it. I post this email in the interest of fostering transparency for the good of the investing public, and I pray that action is taken swiftly and decisively. Thank you. And guys, let me quote to this letter in its entirety, because it is extremely important to understand what we are dealing with. So, dear Commissioner Pierce, as we enter into a new era of leadership for our country, and as we approach the 1-year mark since our meeting on February the 9th of 2024, I find myself compelled to follow up regarding the MMTLP situation. Despite your expressed commitment to addressing this issue, there has been no tangible progress, leaving shareholders in a state of perpetual limbo. Since our last communication, the inaction from regulatory bodies has only compounded the damage inflicted on innocent retail investors. Shareholders were blindsided by FINRA's trading halt and the subsequent lack of transparency about what transpired behind closed doors. This has left more than 65,000 families not only financially devastated but emotionally exhausted. We trusted that regulatory intervention would provide answers, yet we have been met with silence and deflection. Not only that, but the SEC has hamstrung NextBridge Hydrocarbons' efforts to make an S1 effective that would allow them to capitalize the company, seemingly to pound them into bankruptcy with the hopes that this situation will go away. The department, which you suggested as a point of contact, has proven ineffective in addressing the specific and urgent nature of this crisis. Their lack of engagement, much like FINRA's responses, has yielded no resolution or meaningful accountability. The lack of action, compounded by FINRA's dubious claims and inconsistent statements, has only fueled suspicion and eroded public confidence in regulatory institutions. Commissioner, the time for deliberation has passed. As you are undoubtedly aware, this situation is not just about financial loss. It is about the system erosion of trust in our markets and the entities charged with overseeing them. We now possess concrete evidence uncovered through FOIA requests that highlights how short sellers went to unimaginable lengths to manipulate NextBridge Hydrocarbons and undermine investor interests. We also have absolute and definitive evidence of, and here you can see several blacked out strings. These actions suggest a systemic failure to properly regulate institutional behavior, creating an environment ripe for naked short selling and phantom share manipulation. It is not just negligence, it is a complicity, and it demands immediate regulatory intervention and accountability. This is a clear issue of market manipulation and abuse, and the SEC is the only body equipped to restore accountability and justice. With this in mind, I respectfully request the following. 1. A comprehensive audit and transparent investigation. The SEC must conduct a full-scale audit of institutional holdings, lending practices, and trading activities surrounding MMTLP, including all irregularities in CDOL and QSIP usage, pre-market lending, and unexpected changes in reported holdings. This audit should include a verification of the number of MMTLP shares allotted to each FINRA participant, the amount of shares that we were lent out by each participant at the time the allotments were issued, and their corresponding obligation to deliver NextBridge shares to their clients. This audit, overseen by an independent third-party certified auditor, will determine whether any platform shares were sold, providing full transparency and accountability. The foregoing must be accompanied by a transparent review of FINRA's actions leading up to and during the trading halt. These findings must be published for public scrutiny. The existence of an ongoing investigation involving company executives is irrelevant to FINRA's conduct, which must be scrutinized independently. And guys, it is very difficult to argue with this first bullet point, because basically he asks a blue sheet data. And just yesterday and multiple times before yesterday, I told you that if something is wrong, blue sheets will show us this problem. And if everything is in line with the rules and laws, it will definitely give us a chance to stop our efforts and to basically forget about this issue. But for some reasons, authorities don't want to disclose this information. That is why we are still asking for this. So, number 2, accountability measures. Identify and hold accountable all parties involved in the creation, sale, and dissemination of synthetic or phantom shares. This systemic abuse of the market cannot go unpunished, and those responsible must face appropriate regulatory and legal consequences. Number 3. A path to resolution. Facilitate an immediate meeting between the SEC, NextBridge Hydrocarbons, and FINRA to establish a clear and actionable plan for shareholder resolution. This includes addressing the rightful ownership and transfer of NextBridge shares and proving transparency to affected investors. These are not unreasonable requests. They are the bare minimum expectations of a regulatory body tasked with protecting investors and ensuring fair markets. I implore you to act with urgency and decisiveness. The SEC's credibility is on the line, and the public's faith in our financial markets depends on your willingness to stand up for what is right. In the absence of action, I assure you that this issue will not fade quietly. I, alongside countless others, am prepared to continue to escalate this matter to the highest level of government and public disclosure until justice is served. And in the interest of transparency for the good of the general public, this email is going up on social media. Commissioner Pierce, you have an opportunity to be a hero in this story, a champion for transparency, accountability, and the everyday investors who have been so closely disregarded. Please do not let this moment pass without taking meaningful action. I thank you for your time and attention and await your response. And guys, you know that previously, about a year ago, we had, almost 2 years ago, we had an interview that was made by Charles Payne, and he asked Esther Pierce about the MMTLP issue. Let me show you that potentially I found yes, here it is. You can see that on April 18th, X Market News published this video where Esther Pierce answered to the question that was asked by Charles Payne, and he asked her about MMTLP saga, and for some reasons she answered that we have to write a letter, official letter, we will have to make an inquiry, and then everything will be settled basically almost within a blink of an eye. But Charles Payne told her that we've already done these letters, we've already written these letters, and SEC didn't respond to us. And that is why, guys, I think it is not so effective to address again Esther Pierce. And here you can see that, wait a second, I will show you that Due Diligence also addressed the same letter to Marco Yeda. And Marco Yeda is the person, let me show you, who is the chairman of SEC Commission right after the resignation of Gary Gensler. And for now, guys, let's take a look at this investigation. Rare DD wrote this 20 hours ago. While Gary Gensler leaving this SEC is good for crypto and the market as a whole, it's concerning that Uyeda was senior advisor to POR. Yet another reason why the SEC can be trusted to investigate MMTLP. Learn more about POR and his connection to Ari Rubinstein in the video below. And he addressed to his own video that he published basically several days ago. On top of that, guys, here you can see some add-ons to this investigation. 16 hours ago, RareDD wrote, "Random people show favor to strangers when they know they went to the same school or when they are fans of the same sports team. SEC commissioners, market makers, OTC leadership, and so many other market participants have spent years developing relationships by attending the same conferences, roundtables, and being members in the same groups. The SEC's new acting chairman is linked to STA and STNY, a fraternal organization where Cromwell Carlson and Jeff Mendel have been on the board. Uyeda also served under Michael POR when he was acting SEC chairman. POR has been a senior advisor at Ari Rubinstein's GTS Securities for about 6 years. Ari Rubinstein began kissing up to Redfern as early as 2018. Brett Redfern led the way in amending the SEC's Rule 15c2-11, and it looks like he implemented most of what Ari Rubinstein requested in his 2020 comment letter. The STA motto is so-called "My word is my bond." Do we really think these guys are going to break their word and bond by going against their own people? The FBI and DOJ need to investigate the actions of FINRA and the SEC in regards to MMTLP. More info in the thread below. And guys, I have to admit that because of these facts, unfortunately, this letter basically pretty much useless. We don't have any official ways how we can push this case through the current people of MMTL of SEC, because all of them are basically a part of one huge closed party where everyone has to cover everyone. And that is why, guys, I think the only path to the resolution is through the litigation processes. But at the same time, guys, these statements that we have to address to DOJ and FBI as well might also be very viable for our case.
And guys, let me tell you my personal story. I have a wife and 2 children aged 11 and 15, as well as a small dog. After 30 years of living in Russia near the Baikal Lake, we decided to move. Now we reside in Serbia. Although I don't own any MMTLP shares, I invest a lot of time creating daily MMTLP videos. I have been doing this every day without days off and holidays for more than 1.5 years. Now I wish to buy back this time from my family, from my children. We've agreed that I will ask the MMTLP community to support me, and I will give all the money to the children. Therefore, if you believe that I am providing useful content for you and wish to support me, you can join my Patreon account. For $5 a month, I will add your name to my list of supporters if you wish. Thank you in advance. The link you can find in the description below. So, I think that's all information that I want to provide you. If you like my video, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel, and see you guys and girls next time. Bye!
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gone live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life, I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap, only God wants you.